Get up, let's get it started. Time to move around, let's have a party. Move to the left, move to the right, feel the beat and hang on tight. Move to the left, move to the right, feel the beat and hang on tight. Now stop and clap it out. Now stop and stomp it out. Now stop and bounce it out. Now stop and shout it out.
Get up, jump up, turn up and dance. Gonna praise you, Jesus, with all that I am. Get up, jump up, turn up and dance. Gonna praise you, Jesus, with all that I am.
Come on, get up, let's get it started. Time to move around, let's have a party. Move to the left, move to the right, feel the beat and hang on tight. Move to the left, move to the right, feel the beat and hang on tight. Now stop and clap it out. Now stop and stomp it out. Now stop and bounce it out. Now stop and shout it out. Yeah.
Get up, jump up, turn up and dance. Gonna praise you, Jesus, with all that I am. Get up, jump up, turn up and dance. Gonna praise you, Jesus, with all that I am. Get up, jump up, turn up and dance. Gonna praise you, Jesus, with all that I am. Get up, jump up, turn up and dance. Gonna praise you, Jesus, with all that I am.
For the last 6 weeks, we've been looking at what it means to be a kid after God's heart. And that just means that we've been taking a look at our own hearts and making sure they are following God and everything He says to do.
But today is week number 7. It's our last day in this series, but it's the #1 secret to having a heart after God. A heart after God obeys.
Oh, obeys? I don't really like that word too much. It doesn't sound fun at all.
Well, we're going to learn all about it today and how it actually is a great word and the key to having a heart after God. But first, let's play a fun game. If you could be a pet for one day, what kind of pet would you be?
I would be a bird. I really want to be able to fly.
Oh, all right. Well, I would be a dog. Then I could play when I want, sleep when I want, get all my meals prepared for me, go to the groomers and get pampered all day. Sounds pretty great to me.
Sure does. And actually, the best part about dogs is teaching them to obey. Like when you say sit or roll over, and when they obey, it's so awesome and it makes us feel like they love us. Just like we want our pets to obey us, we can obey God too.
Yep, that's the #1 way we show God we have a heart like His. We obey Him and the people He has put in charge.
Okay, I get it now. A heart after God obeys, and that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. David obeyed God too, his whole life. Yeah, sure he messed up, we all do. But what matters is that we keep on trying.
Now playing David's Legacy, beginning from 1 Samuel 16:7.
David had a heart after God and lived his life in a humble way as he served and obeyed God. David was brave when he defeated Goliath. He respected King Saul even though Saul was a bad king, and David knew how important it was to repent when he did wrong things. God saw David's heart when he was a young boy taking care of his sheep, and also as he grew to be a mighty leader of God's people. When David had brought the Ark of God to Jerusalem, it was just sitting in a tent outside of David's palace. David knew this wasn't right. It needed a special place of its own, not just a tent. So he came up with plans to build a big house just for the Ark of God. It was going to be a big, beautiful temple. When David told his friend Nathan about what he had planned, he was so excited. But later that night, God told Nathan, "I don't need David to build a house for the ark. It has traveled this far without a home and has been fine. Someone else will build this house. David's son will continue to lead the people of Israel after David is gone, and that is who will build the house." Then God told Nathan to go and tell David everything he had said. When David heard that God said no to his desire to build the temple, he didn't get mad at God or try to build the temple anyways. David knew God's heart was to give him good things, even though God didn't give him what he wanted. So David obeyed God and went to pray. He told God how amazed he was at everything God had done. David thanked God for all the promises he had made for him and his family. Having a heart after God, like David, doesn't mean you'll always do everything right. It just means you have a heart to obey him in every opportunity you are given. A heart after God obeys.
David did his best to follow God in everything he did. We can do the same by reading our Bible and doing what it says. And the best part is, God promises to reward us when we listen and obey.
Well, that makes obeying seem a lot better to me. The Bible tells us what is right and what is wrong. When we do what God says to in the Bible, we are obeying Him. Hearts after God obey what His Word says.
Now, let's get real for a minute. It's really hard to obey sometimes. Am I right?
Yep, you're right.
So, if it's really hard to do sometimes, then that means we're probably not going to obey all the time, right?
Right. But if we remember from last week when we repent and ask for forgiveness and start doing what's right, we will be okay.
All right, I want you guys to think about some of the times when it's really hard for you to obey. Is it when you're in the middle of playing your favorite video game and your mom tells you to turn it off and go get ready for bed? Or when you're asked to do the one chore you hate to do the most? Or is it when you're asked to do something for your brother or your sister, but they're really getting on your nerves? When is it hardest for you to obey?
If you can name one, good for you. You're being honest and responsible for yourself. You're taking personal ownership. The next thing you can do is to try your best to obey the next time that situation happens.
Yep, obeying can be hard, but it's always the right thing to do. And remember, it shows the people in our lives that we love and respect them, and God too.
Every day of my life I try to be so cool. I'm changing things on the outside so that people notice what I do. You're looking into my thoughts and you see the things that no one sees. You care the most about the inside of me. My heart can lead me astray to go my own way, to care what others think, what others say. God, give me a beat, a heartbeat, a heart that beats for you, a beat, a heartbeat. I wanna live for you. Every beat of my heart I want to beat for you. You're changing me on the inside, who I am, and what I do, and what I do. You're looking into my thoughts and you see the things that no one sees. You care the most about the inside of me. My heart can lead me astray to go my own way, to care what others think, what others say. God, give me a beat.
Well, it's our last day to say our memory verse together. Do you know it without looking? I sure hope so.
Let's just take a minute to go over all the awesome ways we can show we have a heart after God first. Are you ready?
A heart after God is humble.
A heart after God serves others.
A heart after God respects others.
A heart after God is trusting.
A heart after God is grateful.
A heart after God is repentant.
And a heart after God obeys.
Wow, I want to be all those things.
Me too.
All right, time to get to our memory verse. And then we'll see you back here next week for a brand new series where we will
Spin it to win it.
see you then.
The Lord does not look at things people look at. People look at the outside of a person, but the Lord looks at what's in the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7.